안녕하세요. 컬러리스트 허정입니다. 올해는 제가 컬러리스트 실무를 시작한 지 11년이 된 해입니다. 생각해보면 아직 11년밖에 안 됐나 싶을 정도로 많은 일이 있었는데요. 질풍노도의 청소년기와 비교될 정도로 인격 형성이 다시 이루어지는 조금은 힘든 기간이었습니다. 그런데 다시 예전으로 돌아간다고 해도 다른 일을 찾기보다 지금의 지식을 가지고 돌아간다면 현재와는 조금 다른 컬러 그레이딩을 할 수 있지 않을까라는 생각을 해봅니다. 유튜브를 시작하고 컬러리스트를 생각하시는 분들의 질문을 많이 받았는데요. 공통적으로 궁금해하시는 것들이 컬러리스트가 되려면 어떤 과정을 거쳐야 하는지, 그리고 취업할 때 색보정은 어느 정도 할 줄 알아야 하는지 정도인데요. 그분들이 보내주신 포트폴리오를 보면서 내가 취업은 못 시켜주더라도 뭘 해야 하는지 정도는 알려줄 수 있다는 생각에 이 영상을 만들게 되었습니다. 디지털 컬러리스트가 되는 방법은 영상 후반 업체에 입사해서 컬러리스트의 조수인 어시스턴트로 시작하는 게 일반적인데요. 평균적으로 3년에서 5년 정도의 어시스턴트 기간을 거치면 단편 영화나 짧은 영상으로 자기 작품을 시작하게 됩니다. 그 전에는 후반 작업의 워크플로우나 디지털 포맷에 대한 지식을 쌓는 게 거의 전부인데요. 그러다 시간이 흘러서 막상 클라이언트랑 첫 작업을 하게 되면 엄청난 후회가 밀려옵니다. 난 지금까지 뭘 해왔고 왜 색보정에 대해서 아무것도 모르겠지? 라고요. 그 후회를 하면서 든 생각이 내가 이 일을 시작할 때 이런 기초공사가 돼 있었더라면 더 넓은 지식을 빠르게 흡수할 수 있었을 텐데 였는데요. 그 기초공사가 3가지를 지금 실무를 생각하고 있는 분들에게 말씀드리겠습니다. 그 첫 번째는 단연 영어입니다. I'm not fluent in English, but there is no inconvenience when I travel abroad. This is a huge improvement compared with 2014 before. Back in the day, I couldn't introduce myself in English after graduating university because I didn't have to and didn't need to. First of all, I had no interest in English at all. And what's worse is I misunderstood the verb run as a noun and had no idea what exactly does an adjective mean. 11 years ago, I joined in this field and came to learn unfamiliar programs. There were a few color grading tutorials and manuals in English. It looked like a novel, so I couldn't even think of reading of the manuals. And sometimes I worked up all night for a little glitch. I think if I was able to follow the meaning of the manual, there was no need to get stressed about it. Now, 11 years later, YouTube has changed the world. We can easily meet various experts all over the world in our room. No need to read the manual like a novel anymore, because there are many tutorials with a demonstration on YouTube. If you can understand some basic English patterns and expressions, you can get more advanced knowledge that you've never got before in Naver. For example, if you want to know about cinematography of Joker, you need to search in English instead of Korean. And what about making film or VFX breakdown? Of course, there are some channels in Korea, but there's no comparison with the quantity and quality of information. When I was an assistant who works with numerical and functional parts of the program, there were correct answer and solution, whatever the problem was, but became a colorist who needs to be creative and have to focus on the image itself. There was not the only one correct answer anymore, and since then, I needed to study image while watching a movie, but at the time, I noticed that when I watch a foreign movie, I unconsciously used to see the bottom of the screen once the actor says something. I thought that was the problem. I needed to see the pictures, not the white Korean character. That made me decide to study English to watch a foreign movie with a subtitle in 2014. In the beginning, I set a specific goal that studying English really just for 1 year. In this plan, my first target was to master a kind of pattern book in 3 months. It was a concrete goal, not a broad one, like I'm gonna be good at English, so I think I could make it. Anyway, after about 2 weeks, I finally got ready to study English on the street, not on the desk. My method was pattern drill using these cards. This one is my treasure. I've been using these cards from 2014. It helps me to memorize whatever I want, especially when I'm outside. Here's the way. The front side is cards. There is a Korean sentence. This is the question. After reading the Korean sentence, I have to translate and speak out in English instantly.
I made it.
As you expected, the answer is the other side in English.
How have you been? I don't get it. You first. It makes sense. Can you take a picture? Let's do this.
I made 200 pattern cards from the book and spent about 2 hours a day memorizing the patterns while walking home after work. Sometimes I went traveling with my cards and used to walk around the Itaewon or Dongducheon all day while trying to memorize those patterns because I thought there might be a chance to speak to somebody in English. About 6 months later, the cards got piled up more and finally I got the chance to speak to a foreigner in some Korean restaurant. He was a traveler from Australia and trying to eat sundae. I asked him about a few things like where are you from and when did you come here and where have you been in Korea, such things. He answered me with surprise and I was also surprised at the situation to communicate with a foreigner in another language. That was even complete sentence, not just words. It was an amazing moment. After that, I got much interested in English itself. So I tried to be exposed to communicate with a foreigner as attending language academy and joining some language exchange clubs. In the clubs, there's something I thought. Let's suppose a foreigner trying to speak to you something with poor Korean pronunciation. Are you gonna laugh? No, you may answer them with the easiest expressions for their better understanding with a smile. In the same way, if you talk to a native English speaker with strange pronunciation and grammar like me, they will respond to you with more easy expressions or just words. That's all. The purpose of conversation is just communication. You don't need to be perfect. The important thing is learning new expressions, using them and getting feedback from others. Then finally, you can improve your language skills. It's totally different from TOEIC for getting a job. What I've got in 1 year is that now I have no reluctance anymore in watching YouTube in English. If you are not afraid of English, you can get more high quality information like photographic composition, color scheme, lighting, and so on, not to mention the color grading. But here's something important, that pattern drill is not enough to watch a foreign movie with a subtitle. You need to know their culture, background knowledge, slangs, and prolonged sounds. It's more difficult and needs your steady effort. I still have a long way to go to do that, but now I can understand short conversation in foreign movie and many tutorials about this field. If you want to be a colorist or consider it as a serious hobby, I strongly recommend you to study English first. I can say it's worth spending around 300 days for the variety in your life. Not only color grading, it will make your knowledge more deep and wide. The next is studying the color itself.